Subscribe to the channel, comment with your thoughts as we go, and share this with anyone who cares about real wartime survival history. Because what you're about to hear is not trivia. It is applied engineering born under pressure, tested in war, and still relevant today. During the Second World War, soldiers, resistance fighters, and civilians faced a brutal reality. Clean water was often more dangerous to find than food. Rivers were polluted, wells were sabotaged, and retreating armies deliberately poisoned sources. Out of that desperation came filtration methods so practical and effective that they quietly saved thousands of lives, yet almost nobody talks about them anymore. For the next minute, stay with me closely. When most people hear drink anything and survive, they think of modern gadgets, hollow fiber filters, or chemical tablets. Those did not exist in the form we know today. What existed instead was layered filtration, adsorption chemistry, and mechanical separation using materials soldiers already carried or could scavenge. These systems were crude in appearance, but sophisticated in function. Some were taught in survival manuals, others passed quietly between units, and a few were refined in POW camps, where failure meant death. Today we're going to break down how these forgotten WWII filtration methods actually worked, why they worked, and how they hold up under modern understanding without romanticizing or overselling them. How wartime necessity forced filtration to become simple, portable, and brutally efficient. By 1941, armies understood that dehydration crippled units faster than enemy fire. German, British, Soviet, and Allied manuals all emphasized emergency water treatment, but field reality forced improvisation. Filtration had to remove visible debris, reduce bacterial load, and neutralize toxins using nothing more than cloth, sand, charcoal, and time. The genius was not in a single step, but in the sequence. Soldiers learned that no single layer was enough. Each stage reduced risk incrementally, turning lethal water into something survivable. The core WWII method relied on gravity filtration through progressively finer media. A cloth or scarf removed sediment first. Sand separated finer particles. Charcoal, often scavenged from fire pits, absorbed chemicals and odors. The final step, when possible, was heat or chemical disinfection. This approach mirrors modern multi-stage filters almost exactly, except everything was manual and field-built. You know, charcoal was really the secret weapon hiding in plain sight. It wasn't used just because it was black or, well, convenient. The real reason was adsorption. Activated carbon binds organic compounds, fuel residues, and even some heavy metals to its surface. Now, World War II manuals didn't always go into the chemistry, but soldiers absolutely knew the effect. Water filtered through crushed charcoal simply tasted better, smelled cleaner, and honestly caused fewer stomach illnesses. So here's a practical wartime example. Soldiers would break charcoal into pea-sized chunks, wash off the ash, and then pack it tightly between layers of cloth. This would slow the flow rate, which, in turn, increased contact time and made the filtration more effective. Modern tests, by the way, show that while this method doesn't remove viruses, it does significantly reduce many contaminants that cause immediate illness. And for a soldier on the move, that difference really mattered. Now think about how resistance fighters filtered water in occupied territory without drawing any unwanted attention. In occupied Europe, boiling water was risky. Smoke and fuel use could easily attract patrols, so resistance groups favored silent filtration. They'd use ceramic shards from broken pottery as a coarse layer, then add sand and charcoal, often inside hollow fence posts or abandoned bottles. Water would be poured in slowly and collected several hours later. It wasn't exactly sterile, but, well, it was survivable. One documented technique involved using bread cloths that were, repeatedly washed and dried to act as a bacterial trap. While cloth alone cannot purify water, repeated filtration through clean fabric dramatically reduced pathogen load. Combined with charcoal, this system allowed partisans to operate in forests where, honestly, every stream was suspect. What POW camps taught about filtration under absolute scarcity is, well, quite remarkable. In POW camps, filtration became life or death engineering. Prisoners had no firewood, no chemicals, and really only the most limited materials. Some camps used latrine, runoff, contaminated water. Survivors describe building filters inside tin cans with pinholes punched at the bottom. Layers were built from whatever could be found: crushed brick, sand, charcoal scraped from cook fires, and cloth stolen from uniforms. The critical insight was maintenance. Filters were dismantled, washed, and rebuilt constantly. Stagnant filters became dangerous. This is a lesson modern survivalists often overlook. A dirty filter can be worse than no filter at all. WWII survivors understood this intuitively because illness spread fast in confined camps. Modern laboratory tests confirm that these methods significantly reduce turbidity, bacteria, and chemical contaminants, but do not guarantee complete safety. They were never meant to. They were meant to buy time, preserve strength, and prevent immediate collapse. When combined with boiling or iodine, survival rates improved dramatically. Alone, filtration was a risk management strategy, not a miracle. Applied today, this knowledge matters in disasters where modern filters fail, break, or run out. Knowing how to construct a layered gravity filter from natural materials is not nostalgia, it is redundancy. For historians, it is proof that necessity drives innovation faster than comfort ever will. If you are in a wilderness or disaster scenario, build filtration in stages, never shortcuts. Pre-filter visibly dirty water through cloth. Use sand and gravel to slow flow. Add clean charcoal for adsorption. Let water sit after filtration if possible. Disinfect whenever fuel or chemicals exist. Understand the limitations. WWII soldiers did, and that honesty kept them alive. Why this forgotten filtration deserves respect, not myth. These methods did not make water pure. They made survival possible. They represent applied science under fire, refined by people who paid for mistakes with their health or lives. That is why they deserve to be studied seriously, not dismissed as primitive. If this deep dive added real value to your understanding of wartime survival engineering, subscribe to the channel, share this with fellow historians and survivalists, and comment with the WWII survival topic you want analyzed next. This knowledge was earned the hard way. Keeping it alive matters.